seamlessly with the still waters of the loch, reflecting the landscape and the uncompromising lines of the big peak, the Munro rising behind. Near the lodge, dwarfed by it, you can make out a small cluster of dwellings that look as though they are huddling together to keep warm. These are the cabins. There's one for each couple, but will come together to have meals in the shooting lodge, the bigger building in the middle. Apart from the Highland dinner on the first night, a showcase of local seasonal produce will be cooking for ourselves. They've ordered food in for me. I sent a long list in advance. Fresh truffles, foie gras, oysters. I'm planning a real feast for New Year's Eve, which I'm very excited about. I love to cook. Food brings people together, doesn't it? This part of the journey is particularly dramatic. We have the sea on one side of us, and every so often the land shears away so that it feels as if one wrong move might send us careering over the edge. The water is slate grey, violent looking. In one cliff-top field, the sheep huddle together in a group as though trying to keep warm. You can hear the wind. Every so often it throws itself against the windows and the train shudders. All of the others seem to have fallen asleep, even baby Priya. Giles is actually snoring. Look, I want to say, look how beautiful it is. I've planned this trip, so I feel a certain ownership of it. The anxiety that people won't enjoy themselves, that things might go wrong. And also a sense of pride already in its small successes, like this, the wild beauty outside the window. It's hardly a surprise that they're all asleep. We got up so early this morning to catch the train. Miranda looked particularly cross at the hour. And then everyone got on the booze, of course. Mark, Giles and Julian hit the drinks trolley early, somewhere around Doncaster, even though it was only 11. They got happily tipsy, affectionate, and loud. The next few seats along did not look impressed. They seem to be able to fall back into the easy camaraderie of years gone by, no matter how much time has passed since they last saw each other, especially with the help of a couple of beers. Nick and Beau, Nick's American boyfriend, aren't so much a feature of the boys' club, because Nick wasn't part of their group at Oxford. Although Katie has claimed in the past that there's more to it than that, some tacit homophobia on the part of the other boys. Nick is Katie's friend, first and foremost. Sometimes I have the distinct impression that he doesn't particularly like the rest of us, that he tolerates us only because of Katie. I've always suspected a bit of coolness between Nick and Miranda, probably because they're both such strong characters. And yet this morning, the two of them seemed thick as thieves, hurrying off across the station concourse, arm in arm to buy sustenance for the trip. This turned out to be a perfectly chilled bottle of Sancerre, which Nick pulled from the cool bag to slightly envious looks from the beer drinkers. He was trying to get those G&Ts in cans, Miranda told us, but I wouldn't let him. We have to start as we mean to go on. Miranda, Nick, Beau and I each had some wine. Even Samira decided to have a small one too at the last minute. There's all this new evidence that says you can drink when you're breastfeeding. Katie shook her head at first. She had a bottle of fizzy water. Oh, come on, Katie, Miranda pleaded, with a winning smile, proffering a glass. We're on holiday. It's difficult to refuse Miranda anything when she's trying to persuade you to do something. So Katie took it, of course, and had a tentative sip. The booze helped lighten the atmosphere a bit. We'd had a bit of a mix-up with the seating when we first got on. Everyone was tired and cross, half-heartedly trying to work it out. It turned out that one of the 9 seats on the booking had somehow ended up in the next carriage, completely on its own. The train was packed for the holiday, so there was no possibility of shuffling things around. Obviously, that's my one, Katie said. Katie, you see, is the odd one out, not being in a couple. In a way, I suppose you could say that she is more of an interloper than I am these days. Oh, Katie, I said. I'm so sorry, I feel like an idiot.